Okay, being 7 o'clock, we'll call the Coos Bay City Council meeting to order. Would you all rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Sir, will you cover your... Thank you. All right. First item on the agenda is public comments, and there's some of you that have signed in for that, but you're not limited. If someone else wants to come up, you're more than welcome to. The first one is Crystal Hopper. Hi, Crystal. Just come up to the mic and tell us where you reside, which city, and your comments, please.
Can't pull this down while I talk her.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just...
Hi, everybody. I'm Crystal Hopper. I'm here basically as a duty as a parent to a son who attends the Marshfield Junior High, and as a community member. We definitely have an issue out front of the high school with safety. If you haven't heard, recently we had a child that was struck by a car crossing the crosswalk, and I actually contacted, after watching several close calls over the first couple days of school, the week prior to that, I started just contacting everybody about the issue. They needed to provide a crossing guard, which they have now. However, there really needs to be a sign of some sort up there, a lighted sign flashing, slow people down. People are flying through there. Thankfully, the important part is that the child was okay. However, it didn't need to happen. This should have been planned for prior when they were building the school. I'm not sure why nobody thought of that. I heard that, I don't know the whole history, I've been here 6 years, but there was a school already there, and maybe they didn't have issues prior to this. But that crosswalk also goes into somebody's driveway, and that's the main crosswalk all the kids use. I'd like to see, when I went over you guys' goals for city council, it shows that you guys want to have better communication with your citizens, and also public safety are two of your main points. I'd like to see this change for that school. However, it should be all schools. When I went through the North Bend school zone on Broadway today, they have flashing lights. May not be the case for all the schools, but this is the minimum that should be taking place. The safety of our children should be number one over everything else. And this is something that, again, should be thought of well ahead, putting in any type of work into any other project, especially a school.
One more minute.
With that being said, I appreciate the help that I've been given in contacting various people with the city. I have been told that it is like between the streets department or the schools have to pay for it, or I'm not really sure who pays for that sign, but I'd be willing to raise the money myself, apply for a grant, which I know that the Coquille tribe does have a grant for public safety that you can apply for. I'd be willing to do whatever it takes to start there, but then to continue with the other schools. And thank you all for letting me speak and for continuing to serve all of us in the community.
So, Crystal, we are aware of this, and we got an email about it when it happened. And so steps are being taken to put a sign up, and there's steps taken to handle things differently. I'll let our chief of police address it, and then Jim Hosley, our public works director, he'll also give a comment. They're having a meeting tomorrow, so we'll give you an update of what's happening.
Okay.
But you are correct. Safety is very important, and you're absolutely right. So,
thank you.
Chief?
Yeah. As the mayor mentioned, all your points are very valid. We are aware of them, and we have already been in discussion, and we've made some of these things already happen that you've mentioned, like the crossing guards, very important. The discussion about maybe relocating the crosswalk is definitely something we're going to be talking about. We are meeting with school administrators tomorrow at 10:30 and talking about a potential light at that crossing or that crosswalk, maybe relocating it to maybe further down by Golden. There's one up by Hall, which is just up a little bit further to the south of the school. And then there's that one that kind of leads into the driveway that she had mentioned. So all these points that you have brought up are on our radar. I also made some notes as you were talking as well. We will be discussing all these things. And like I said, I think some of these things have already been taken into place or put into action. So.
Jim, you have anything to add?
No, I don't. I think the chief hit all the high points.
So I can tell you that since we became aware of it, the school was contacted about crossing guards. And so also the chief has indicated to me earlier that some of the cars that are parking along there, we're going to enforce the parking area. So those cars will be not there because it's also a hazard, between the cars. This way there'll be more visibility. So they'll be meeting tomorrow and something's going to be implemented. And I can assure you that I'm sure that a sign will be in some fashion between the school district and ourselves. We'll get a sign up there, a flashing sign of some sort. So.
I appreciate it. I also wanted to add that when I did communicate with the city and the police and everybody the week prior to this happening, I just think that it should be taken a lot quicker because if somebody had addressed it, the child may not have been hit. And it was a very traumatic experience to him and to many others, I'm sure.
You're absolutely correct. There was no school last year, and for whatever reason, it wasn't thought of or addressed, and you're correct. So anyway, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Appreciate your comments. Jim, you're next. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Pardon?
How are you guys today?
Good, Jim. How about yourself?
I'm here to talk to you a little bit about some rules for Empire, and you're going to be looking at them today, and they're the rules about designs. They've been on the books for quite a while, and the idea, if I understand this from other people in the community, was they were put on the books to try to get an 1890s, 1900 look to that area. And we've had them on for quite a while, and that look hasn't happened. So I realize it'll probably cost some money, whether it be the city money or we get a grant to change whatever we need to do for a study to remove that. We need to spend the money on. If you could, please. Urban Renewal Agency. I'm not sure what source you would use. You guys have a better handle on what monies are out there, but that's been on the books for almost 10 years and nothing's happened. And
Yeah, a little bit longer than 10 years. But
Okay.
yeah, I was around when it happened. And there was one counselor that was adamant about it, and he got a few others to chime in. And before we did the agency, insisted on it. And you're correct. I haven't seen anything happen that has changed that. In my opinion, we'll discuss tonight, it's been kind of a deterrent. You found that out with the Empire mural. In hindsight, there might have been some other ones that had some difficulty applying because of all the steps they would have to go through to adopt both those. But this is for the council to decide, and they'll be addressing it tonight. So,
okay, thank you.
you bet. Is it Jerome? Hello, how are you this evening, sir? Just come on up. Hello. Just tell us your name and where you reside. What city?
Waldorf.
Okay. Can you speak into the mic, please? So we can hear.
Waldorf.
Okay.
And this is about the homeless ones.
Mhm.
Okay. I understand about